What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. We are here today with the new Xbox Elite 2, the brand new controller. I didn't think it was possible that they could improve the greatest controller of all time, but here we are, and we're gonna give it the good effort. I've heard nothing but good things about this, and as somebody that has had the original Elite since it came out, and as you can see over here in the background, I even have the Gears of War 4 Elite controller. I am just stoked. This controller is kind of everything that I hoped it could be. It's just, I love the controller, so I can only imagine that this one's going to be that much better. As you can kind of see here, it comes with the Elite controller 2, interchangeable D-pads, interchangeable thumbsticks, the paddles, carrying case, a charging dock, and a thumbstick adjustment tool, and USB-C this time around. I don't know how closely you can see it. And then here's the back of the box that shows where everything is. So there's a little rip sticker up here, so very easy this time around. But my OCD is kind of tripping, so I feel like I have to like rip the whole sticker off. So that's what we're gonna do. I got mine at Best Buy. $179.99 was the price, and you know, for a lot of people, they look at that price tag and they say, "Oh my God, that is so expensive for a controller." And I get it, but like, I don't know. This is better than a scuff controller, so people pay that price for scuffs. And I just kind of feel like, there's another one down here. I just kind of feel like, you know, if you want to have a serious, beautiful, powerful controller, this is the way that you go. So we've got the case off, or the box off, and you've got this beautiful carrying case. We'll just kind of stick that like that for a moment. Underneath the box, there is this little package right here, and I'm assuming this is the USB-C cable. It is a braided cable, as you can see, so it's got a nice hardcore kind of texture to it. So it's made to take abuse. Got the little Xbox logo, you can kind of see it on the USB-C. USB-C, obviously the newer, kind of more powerful charging connection type for PCs. There's also this little envelope in here, which has a little book about the Elite controller. You know, tells you everything that you need to do for pairing and whatnot. There's also the product regulatory guide, and there is this Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code, which is good for 14 days of Xbox Ultimate. So honestly, 14 days you can beat the Outer Worlds. Watch my video guides if you want, and just for buying this controller, you can probably play the entire Outer Worlds. Oh my goodness. Look at that thing. Oh, it feels so good in the hands. Alright. So, here is the controller, and it is a beauty. Also in here is the charging station, which has this little felt cloth over it. So essentially you're going to plug the USB-C into the back of this, and I'm assuming that on the back here you can see it's got like the 3 ridges, and you just plug it, put it right there on the cradle. It'll sit nicely on the desk. Ooh, it looks like it's even magnetic. It's kind of stuck to it. Or you do also have the option to plug the USB-C directly into the controller. There is also a headphone jack on the bottom. As you can see, the D-pad comes right off. You've got your there. Then you got your paddles, which also nice and magnetic, come off real easy. One thing that you can also see back here, there's trigger tension. So their trigger stops, I guess you would say. So you can have it to different settings, and where you have it is where the trigger is going to go down. So I don't really know what setting is going to be good for me yet. Let's put this here. We're going to open this, and you can also see inside of the case, you've got 2 more of these thumbsticks. Now, one of the things you'll notice is, one of the thumbsticks sits a little higher than the other. Looks like it's a little wider. If you can see, I think it's a little wider. And then you have concave. Looks like there's only one that's concave. So that's a little different. Oh, this is the one that's higher. So these two, I think, are a little bit bigger. And they're rounded, like soft along the edge, where this one is a little bit more rigid. This is the one that's taller. And I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I've had one of them with the tall and one of them with the short. It's a little interesting to get used to. Whoa, that was not what I expected, sorry. It's a little interesting to get used to, and obviously this huge pad on the back. But it's really, you'd be surprised at how useful it can be. So obviously you're gonna want to, use it at your discretion, however it feels best to you. Some people like the textured feel of this, which is great. There's also this key, which I'm gonna assume is for getting the little rings off here, and other needs that you might have. And some people, they just don't like this D-pad, right? So you've got yourself a standard D-pad. So this is very much a lot like the previous iteration, but better. So like the trigger stops are new. This right here is new. The charging is new. The like battery pack charging. So we're gonna put that there. And I know it's hard to look at the Gears of War side by side with it, because one of them is like a vanity controller and the other one is the standard. Obviously the Gears one is just beautiful, but these are the two that I have. I guess actually technically I can go into my controller here. This is my original Elite controller, so you can kind of see them side by side. I replaced the top because I wanted a red controller. One mistake I made is on the back you can see that this started peeling apart. And I think this is something that happened for a lot of people. For me, it did not start happening until I had to take all of it off to replace the actual faceplate, which is why I didn't really want to show it. I can already tell you that with this one, it's much tighter along the base. It feels like the grips are not made to come off, and that may be good, that may be bad, depending on how much you enjoy modding controllers, which is definitely a thing. Oh wow, the button is actually a lot different too. There's different profiles, as you can see. 3 different profiles, so you can like set the controller so that it will, act certain ways. Like say like you program the triggers here, okay, to do certain things. Like, I don't know for sure, but maybe you can train it to do certain things in Fortnite, right? Or whatever it may be. Like, this is a dance move, this is a dance move, whatever. I've never been a fan of the paddles personally, which I know for some people is like, oh, why do you bother with the controller? I'm trying to sync it up. And just like that, it is, it needs an update. I was gonna say, just like that, you can kind of see it's trying to do the update. My thing is a mess, so we're gonna do the update while we're waiting. So the controller is updating, which is great. Alright, so I had a little bit of an error when I was doing the software update. I accidentally ejected a disk from the console instead of hitting the sync button, and I didn't take the disk out because I was doing this video, and it ended up sucking it back in while the update was happening. So don't do that. I edited where it happened and cut out the last couple of minutes because it was really clunky and weird. But let me just say, I have since played this a little bit, and it is it's beautiful. The trigger stops so far don't do anything for me because I feel like the regular, you know, trigger presses are what works best for me. Also, earlier I said the bottom of the controller had the USB-C connection for charging, but it's actually right here. The error that happened while I was doing the software update just required me to plug in the USB-C cable, and that's where I realized the error of my ways. This is the greatest controller ever made. Like I said, I think earlier, one of the complaints a lot of people had was this right here, the grips coming undone. I can't even imagine how much you'd have to like mess with it for that to happen in this case. So $179.99 is how much it is. Obviously very expensive, but you get what you pay for. And I've only played a little bit of Battlefield 5 so far, but you know, I'm very familiar with Battlefield, and I think that's the game that I can really truly feel the difference in the most, because it's probably the shooter I've played the most ever. So there you guys go. I hope this video is cool for you, and I appreciate you watching, and you know, like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. I feel like you have to say that now, but anyway, we'll see ya.